It's raining, but it's my day off, and I think I alluded to the fact that last week I was sick, so I didn't get much done at all last weekend. Matter of fact, most of that video that you saw last weekend I did as I was walking around out here with a fever of 102 degrees. I don't get sick very often. Once every 3 or 4 years something hits me, and that one got me. So Saturday ended up with... Friday night was fine. Woke up Saturday morning with 102 degree temperature. Slept for about 20 hours. And then by Sunday afternoon, my temperature was down to 98 again. But all week long, I've just been wiped out. And I think it was what everybody else has been getting. There's no way for me to tell because I'm not one who, when he gets sick, gets tested. So I get sick, I get sick. Part of life. And I've had things that were a whole lot worse than that. It wasn't that bad at all. But I need to get the beams in place. So, well, it's not going to be a long video. Hopefully it'll be a productive one. It's Saturday, and I slept in this morning until like 6 o'clock. It was a beautiful feeling. Had a nice big breakfast. Now I'm going to try and manhandle these beams and see if I can't get them in place where they're supposed to go. I do have a backup plan if I can't do this by myself. I talked to Ward yesterday. He said he'd swing by later on today and give me a hand. But while it is raining and we do need the rain, it's kind of a pain in the neck working in the wet and the rain. And I don't like wearing the kilt when it's raining because as the kilt gets wet, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. It does not like rain. And more important than that is it gets harder and harder to keep around my waist. We do not need any moments where Sean is all of a sudden in his all-togethers. So I'm going to move a few things around here, get a few things squared up, and I think we'll go with the outside one first. And then I'll do the outside one on this side here, and I still have the third beam to construct. I'm just kind of a bit leery and nervous of building that while it's raining because I do glue it and nail it. So at least we'll get 2 of the beams out of the 3 up today. Well, I picked up the extra 12-footer as well. So I have all the lumber I need for the entire section right now. have to keep the camera kind of underneath the canopy here, the rain, because I don't want to wreck the camera. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit, bring you in closer. There we go. Yeah. Much easier than I thought that was going to be. It's pretty cool. It's very cool. Alright, let's get the other one on. So when I built these beams, I built them as level as I could on one side. And that's the side that I want to have up. Then I'm going to be nailing the subfloor into. That's this side here. Alright, I got to swing this over to there. I might actually be able to do right over the top of that pile of wood. Let's give that a try. It's heavy and wet. What? You're awful loud. No, you laid an egg. Proud of you. Bugger. Goes without saying, you should probably be very careful when you're lifting heavy weight like this. Try not to use your back. What I'm doing is I'm tightening up the stomach and I'm trying to use my whole upper body as opposed to actually lifting with my back. And by all means, if you have someone who can help you, have that person help you. I don't have anybody here right now, and if it was something that I felt that I couldn't do, I would go ahead and make that phone call. What I've done here to make it a little bit easier is because these swivel, right? Kind of angle it out along the same plane that I have the beam angled out, and then I've moved it over so that I can cradle it into this end first. Then I can get on that end, lift it up, swing it back around, and drop it down onto the whole thing. And I'm going to do this in a couple of takes. So the goal is to get it up and into that cradle to begin with. Then I'll reposition the camera so you can see how I lift up the other end, get it up, and drop it into the top of the post hole or the post brackets. Oh. Yalla, don't you dare. So there's the first part, and that actually went a little easier than I thought. Let me reposition the camera so I can do the next part for you. Right. When we're done with this, I'll walk around with the cell phone camera and get some video for you and show you where we're lined up at and what I have left to do to the beams themselves before I can actually start putting the floor on. And then obviously I have the third one, the center one, that I have to get done. But with all the wood wet today, I don't think I'm going to glue it up and nail it together. I'm going to hold off until we dry out a bit this week. Nice. That went pretty easy too. Very sweet. Look at that. Holy smokes. I got beams on the cabin. Very cool. All right, let me get my cell phone camera and I'll show you what I have left to do. Start with the first one that I put up here. I don't know whether or not you can tell, but it's sitting on this one and it's sitting on the first one in down there on the end, but it's not sitting on the other one, so that's where the adjustment will come in. But there is a gap that I'm going to have to fill with plywood on these, and I haven't really even looked. See where there's a seam here. Most of where it's sitting is not on seams, which is very good. I like that. And then the second one over here. And again, the same thing. I'm going to have to put the plywood in there to shimmy it up. But right here you can see that it's not sitting on anything, right? But this nut here, if I were to screw that nut down, I don't know if you can tell very quickly, but it's raising that bracket and closing that gap. And I could be just as easily adjusting that gap by lowering the other ones. Also, there is my outside corner nail spike here, where I blew the orange on it. I'm going to extend this beam out a bit more. I want them to be hanging back over the back edge because I do have some extra footage on the front end. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to lay this cabin or this subfloor right in where it needs to go. When I do that, that's when I'll square everything up on the top, but it will be level when I put that on there to begin with. So that way I'll be level and then I'll be square with a subfloor, and then it's cabin from that point forward. But pretty darn cool. And again, look at how much room I have to get underneath the cabin to do any work, right? I'll spin the camera around. So I'm right next to the beam, but actually my head's probably, top of my head's probably just about even with it. Pretty exciting. So what do I have to do left? Like I said, when the weather dries out a bit, I need to go ahead and get that third beam done and put it in there. And then all the lumber is here now for the entire subfloor. So I'll start building on the subfloor. That will happen this week. And we should dry out pretty quick after the rain's done. But it's a muddy mess. And I don't really feel like I said, trying to do the glue between the beams as I build them when the lumber's that wet. I want it to be able to do it here and get into the pores of that wood. It's pretty awesome. Pretty darn awesome.